Hi, I'm Shannon Work. I'm an author and I'm from Del Rio. And I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today about my writing and my books. I have a few questions here that I'll answer for you. The first one is, how does being from Del Rio influence my writing? Well, it has in several ways. First off, it's where I became an avid reader as a student at North Heights Elementary School. I can still remember in the library and which shelves had my favorite books. But then I moved on and went to high school. I'm a graduate of the class of 1986. And I had a very influential English teacher, Becky West, who many of you probably know, who really encouraged writing. And it was the first experience, I guess, with a teacher who really encouraged writing. And Becky is the one who taught me how to outline, which is the way I still write my books today. So I'm very grateful for her. But then also growing up in Del Rio kind of gave me a wealth of a rich source of information and different types of personalities and different ideas and character traits and things. I've got a large family there, extended family, and been able to pull in some personality quirks and things that show up in a few of my characters. And the second question is, what inspires my stories? Well, each book is different. The ideas come from everywhere, but in particular, Death in a Harsh Land is the book that I have set in Del Rio. And that story idea came from a trip that I took with my sister to Del Rio Bank and Trust when there was an archaeological exhibit of the artifacts and pictographs on the Skiles Ranch. And I really got interested in that. And I knew I had wanted to set a story in Del Rio from the beginning of when I started writing. And this just gave me the idea of what to base the story around. And, but like I said, ideas come from everywhere. And, but this one, I did draw in a lot of our family history as well. And I had a lot of fun doing that. There's some family stories that nobody outside of the family knows that show up in this book. So I'll let you, if you've read it, guess maybe which ones those are. But that is what encouraged me or inspired me to write Death in a Harsh Land, which actually was my 5th book. I have 6 out now, but my 5th book that was set in Del Rio. The next question, what do I hope readers connect with in my books? Well, I hope that they see the humanity in small town life. My mystery series is set mainly in Telluride, which is also a very, very small town. Del Rio's metropolis compared to Telluride. But having lived now for several decades in Houston, I can see the difference between the city and the small town. For good or for bad, in the small town, you don't have the anonymity that you do in the city, but you also don't have the connection with your neighbors. So it's definitely given me perspective on that, being able to see that now after living in the city for so long. And I really love small town. That's why we love our time that we spend in Colorado, in Telluride. So we kind of get the best of both worlds, I guess. And the next question, do your books explore themes of identity, resilience, and mental health? Well, yes, I write murder mysteries. So there's lots of mental health issues in my books, lots of different motives, lots of different psychoses, things that set people off, things that make people tick. So it's a lot of fun to kind of delve in to the psychology of it. And I have tried in each of the books that I've written to give my characters, the villains, different motivations for each of the murders. So that's been kind of fun to do that, if murder can be fun. And then also, as far as resilience and identity, yes, my protagonist, his name is Jack Martin, which Martin is a family name, and another way that kind of some of my family history and different things show up in the book. But he is a character. I made him from Louisiana, but then he went to Texas A&M where I went to school. And he is very much grounded in his identity, in who he is, where he came from. And it does greatly affect how he approaches his cases and how he deals with people, and as well as the resilience part of it. And I think that that is something too that I can identify with. And I've had a lot of fun kind of seeping that in there a little bit. But I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. If you've read any of my books, I really appreciate it. And thank you very much.